Hi, this is Lyndsey Parker here for LPtv, Licorice Pizza. We are here with the band Celestial. We are very happy to have you here. I know you're excited to be here as well, so thanks for coming.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.
What are we celebrating here? You're performing. Is it a record release show? I know you put a record out, Hope, in May, and then you had another single come out in July.
Yeah. So I mean, really just like we got super stoked on the idea of doing this, and it was more to like celebrate community and just invite all our friends and play some kick-ass music and have a good time. I didn't know this was possible, like for us to be able to play this. So it was like, once we got things rolling, I was like, holy shit, guys, like this is going to be a really cool night. And so just celebrating music and having good people around us. And yeah, that's kind of our message as Celestial in a nutshell anyways. It's just, good vibes and yeah. So
I know that the letters, because there's no vowels in your name, it's pronounced Celestial. They stand for something. It's an acronym, right?
Yep. Creating living sound through love.
That sounds very wholesome and positive.
Yeah.
What was the inspiration behind that?
Oh, I mean, if you listen to the music, we started writing music before we had the name, obviously. And I think we sort of had like a space theme to it.
You always wanted a name like that. First, you were thinking terrestrial, but I think you just kind of got the word mixed up. Because you were like, I want it to be spacey still. I'm like, I think that's celestial.
Yeah. And so it was like this whole idea of like a space adventure, sort of like drawing from all different kinds of music that we listen to, because we have very different inspirations. And then, I don't know, I think we just came up with the name Celestial, like that popped out. And then for some reason, maybe I wrote it like CLSTL as like just a way to be more unique. And then I was like, oh, that's kind of a cool acronym if we do this. And then it fit the vibe perfectly. And it actually drove a lot of like the themes, I'd say, when we're writing songs, if it starts with something relatively basic, like just instruments or an acoustic song or something, it's like, all right, well, sonically, how can we align this with the overall message of like, celestial, like create living sound through love. And what I like about that too is like when you create a sound wave and you put that out into the universe, it, goes forever. It's like it exists for eternity. So you want to go deep with it.
Bounces back home.
Yeah, where it bounces back
Does
home.
Celestial Seasonings tea still exist?
Probably. I said that. I'm not sure if that's.
I feel if it does, you should get some kind of endorsement.
Do they spell it like that?
They don't, but maybe they should. Well, you talked about how you have different genres, and you all come from different backgrounds. So before this interview continues, I haven't asked you to properly introduce yourselves and where you're from, because you're all from different places. So why don't we go down the line, like your names, what instrument you play, but also where you're from, because some of you are from. None of you are originally from LA, and some of you aren't originally from the US.
Yeah. I'll start. So, John Beach, lead vocals and guitar. And I'm from, I say Cleveland, Ohio, but it's not really Cleveland. I'm basically from like the middle of nowhere, Ohio.
What part of Ohio?
It's called Garrettsville, Ohio. It's actually, I don't think anyone's said that on an interview before in history.
I was wondering if it was Dayton, maybe, because
I'm born in Dayton.
Where Guided by Voices are from.
Wow. Yeah. So that was my upbringing. And
I'm Neil. I'm another vocalist and bass player for the band. I'm from New York, kind of similar to John. I like to make it sound like I'm from New York City, but I'm really just from the burbs of New York.
Which burbs?
It's called Katona, New York.
I'm learning all about U.S. geography.
Yeah, exactly. Bunch of small towns. But yeah, on to you.
I'm Warren Petty. I play piano, keys, synths. I'm from Boston, Massachusetts.
Are you from? My mom is from Waltham.
Ah.
So I know Boston. But Waltham is like a suburb of Boston.
Yeah, I'm not from Boston.
Where are you? No one's from. Y'all are liars. Where are you actually
I'm from even farther, actually. I'm from...
My mom would know where it is.
Closer to Rhode Island, Somerset.
Okay, my mom...
Yeah.
I've heard of Somerset.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well,
some battleships there.
Okay.
That's about it.
Warren has some good stories of growing up. You were like playing gigs at like a very young age for like random like Dunky or whatever, like dinky bars and stuff like that. Yeah.
We all start somewhere.
Yeah, it's a lot more to the story, but he's been gigging longer than anyone here, I'm pretty sure, which is cool.
Hello, my name is Francesco, or Fra, and I'm from Italy, Florence.
I've heard of Florence. You're from like one of the more major cities among the lineup.
Yeah, I'm from Florence for real.
Nah, you're honest. And what about you?
Oh, and I play guitar. Sorry.
You forget anything? Hello, I'm Flo. I'm from France. I play drums and I produce.
And what part of France?
I grew up near Lyon, which is close to Switzerland.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. So
Very nice.
I guess the obvious question is you're from all different parts of the world and the country, and you all eventually came to LA. And I feel like you haven't actually maybe been a band technically that long, yet it seems like you guys have been BFFs forever. So how did this all come to be?
Yeah, it's a cool story. It's very serendipitous. That's like the theme with Celestial. Like we wouldn't be here right now if we didn't just get lucky all the time and things just kind of worked out. So I had done a folk project a couple years ago. It's got to be like 5 years ago now. And I didn't expect to really do much with it. I just kind of recorded it because it's kind of funny. Well, not funny. It's kind of crazy. So I thought my grandma was going to pass away. She's like in the hospital. And she could watch this. So sorry, Grandma. I didn't mean to think.
Okay. So
it. But like,
spoiler alert,
yeah.
there's like a happy ending.
She
to this.
made it. She made it.
Cool.
But
All
she
right.
looks at me in the hospital and she's like, I've never heard your music. And I was like, what the hell? Like, I got to record some shit and like show Grandma. Right. Like, and so I went back, recorded a folk album, and then just, realized, oh, I don't suck at this. Like, this is pretty fun. I've been writing music forever. And so I do that. And I'm kind of looking for more ways to explore music. And I was like, folk's cool, but it's kind of boring. I want to make something different. And I didn't really have a plan. And then I went to a random show, like by myself, at El Cid. And I met this guy right here.
Also by myself.
Yeah. Neil also went, a mutual friend. And it's fun because we get there at like, I got there, I think at like 6 or something, and they didn't play. Literally, the band I had to see to support my friend. His band didn't play till I want to say 1:30 in the morning on like a Thursday, and so I'm just chilling there like crushing Modello. It's like I'm just like
Me too.
yeah,
Few deep for sure.
and you can't tell sitting here. Neil's like 6'5", and so like this giant dude goes up and was like, "What's up, man?" or something. Like, I don't know what you said.
We were just standing next to each other, and we just kind of
were
had like
standing in the back because as a 5
there
foot tall
there
person,
weren't
just-
enough people for it
Okay.
to even matter.
As a 5 foot tall person, I'm just saying, I somehow always end up standing behind the 6'5"
tall
person at a
people.
club. So I appreciate you have manners when it comes to that.
Yeah,
But that's for I digress.
Depends how much I like them.
Okay, so you meet at El Cid.
yeah,
Yeah.
And all night crushing Modellos together.
Crushing Modellos together. It's kind of how the relationship has continued. But so we started talking like basses, pedals, like just different gear and stuff, because I was kind of getting more in like the production side of things. Like I wanted to see what I could learn. And then he just asked me, he's, oh, actually, I told you to listen to a Beach Bunny album.
Yep.
And like he texted me the next day, like, yo, this album's great. And I never expect
Love a
someone
good
to
listen.
actually, like if I tell someone, yo, listen to this album, I never expect them to actually listen to it and get back to me. Like I want them to so badly, and I express that very upfrontly. But he hit me up like the next day. He's like, yo, this album's great. I have a studio if you ever want to come by. And then, yeah, we started making music together, and he had a band. I'll let you take the story from here.
Yeah, so I had a band with these two, and it was at the time called Teapop, which we stole from a local cafe. Because we met at this cafe a lot, and we couldn't think of a band name, so we were like, what if we just take this name? And we were gigging around, and we started right around the same time that John and I met and started making music. So I asked the guys, I was like, hey, can my friend John come sit in? We're making music. It's in a similar enough vibe. And you did, and it was awesome. You brought people. It was really fun.
Yeah.
And then we brought you to the next show. And then the show after that was Celestial.
Yeah. I like,
It evolved over time.
I felt like I was like sabotaging, but at the same time, selfishly, like this is the best fucking project ever. Like Celestial's amazing. And
this was like a year ago or so?
2, I want to say.
About two.
Yeah. We started like, it became like a band, like because everyone's busy, right? Like you have to prove yourself. I think us becoming friends has been a major part of how we've been able to make this work, because holy shit, more. Oh, but you want to make sure people are committed for the right reasons, and you have so much passion in the songs you write and the performances, and these guys are just like irreplaceable when it comes to that. Like the passion's there, they actually enjoy it. Like I remember talking to them, like, yo, like we want this to be an actual band, not just like oh, we write the songs. You just come. We'll pay you to come like gig with us, kind of thing. And so making sure that you guys were all like really down for it and enjoyed it, and they just made the show so much better. So it organically became what it is today, which is like the serendipitous aspect of it. I had no like I'm the luckiest person in the world. Like I'd been living here for 3 years, and to find guys like this to make music with was just a dream come true, for real.
I'm curious how you all ended up in LA, because, one of the things I love about Los Angeles, some people think, oh, it's where all these like posers come because they want to, be in showbiz. You know what I mean? Or they all want to direct or write screenplays or whatever the showbiz dream. But I actually think LA is kind of cool because people who don't have those opportunities, and I forget where in Ohio you're from, or in Florence or wherever they come, or in Somerset, they come to LA or Nashville or New York, places like that, to pursue their dreams. And sometimes it actually happens, it comes true. So how'd y'all end up in LA?
You start over there.
Peer pressure.
Who was pressuring you?
No, basically so the four of us were all in school in Boston. We went to Berklee. Louder? Oh, okay, cool. So we all went to Berklee, and after I was done with school, a lot of my friends, including Francesco, already moved to LA. I wanted to go back to New York because I really enjoyed living there. But everyone was like, yeah, man, come to LA. There's so many gigs. You're always going to be working here. So cool.
Pizza's there.
Licorice Pizza's there. And my girlfriend wanted to move here. And I was like, you know what, fuck it. I'm already like halfway across the globe, so 6-hour trip more west is not going to change anything. But I think it's been really good. Like challenging, but I enjoy it.
Yeah, I imagine it is challenging. I've lived here my whole life, so sometimes I don't really understand what it'd be like to be thrown into this city and not know anyone or not know many people. And
I think also like the layout of the city makes it like a bit more challenging maybe to meet people, because it's so spread out. Like whenever you want to go out somewhere, first you have to drive, then you have to park. Hopefully don't get a ticket.
You could Uber, but that's not always
back in the
cheap.
day maybe, but now it's like so expensive. Like it's
like a $70 airport.
It's like it's probably cheaper to get a DUI at this point than
Don't say that. Don't
do that, kid.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just joking.
Yeah, I know.
Drive safe.
But you're not wrong. Maybe it can add up. Don't do that.
No, don't do that. But so it makes it like a bit challenging.
Crushing the Modellos, get an Uber.
Yeah, just get an Uber home.
Designated
That's
driver.
fine.
Anyway, go on. Sorry.
No, if you go home with an Uber, just expense it on your taxes and,
Also that.
roll
Pro
with that.
tip.
I guess LA, obviously.
But yeah, it's a little challenging to meet people, especially at first. And I think as anywhere, when you start building a little community, then, like John knows Neil knows someone else, that someone else knows someone else. And, slowly but surely, you kind of grow your community like that.
It's all who you know in this business. So how did you guys who are also in Berklee, why was LA the next step for you guys?
Mainly music, because the music that I want to play, I think here LA, it was the right place to be. And yeah, music. Honestly, music.
Best
if it wasn't
answer.
for music, probably I wouldn't have moved here. But it grew on me a lot, LA, because I didn't know much about LA, and I had a shock when I moved here. But now I really love it. Yeah.
What was the shock?
Like living in a big city. I've never lived in a big city. I thought like already like going from Florence to Boston, for me was like a big jump. But then like, Boston to LA was like a huge jump. And the layout of the city, I wasn't ready. I didn't expect it was like this big and so like spread out. And, then finding my community and everything. But now it's been good. Yeah.
Good.
How about you,
Warren?
Warren?
Yeah, pretty much the same reasons.
And did you all move? Do you all live in the same part of LA? Because if like one of you's in Venice and one of you's in Pasadena, I don't know if it's going to work out.
As of yesterday, we live in the same building.
Oh, yay. Congrats.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you all live near each other?
I know.
Fra lives far away. But I just need to take things to the next step because I've invested a lot into music, and there's a really small cap in Boston and East Coast in general. I feel like even New York is pretty dead these days, and I got less and less jazzy as I got older, so New York became less of an appeal.
Oh wait, is your background in jazz?
I guess. Yeah, sure. Sort of, yeah.
Not in jazz.
It's not in jazz. Sure, yeah. I don't know.
Jazz adjacent.
Jazz adjacent, yeah, I like that. It just made sense. Most of my friends came out here. There were the most opportunities. There was the most head start. Like, I had gigs before I had even arrived, which I couldn't do with any other city. It just, yeah, it was the right call. And I moved out here last, I guess, a year or two ago. So everyone else was here for a while, so it made sense. Yeah. It was like the first gig. I know. It's crazy.
The LA dream.
Yeah.
You hit LA and everything started to happen. And then, how did you guys?
Was our dream.
No, we needed a one.
I moved here about 3 years ago, straight out of college as well. I mean, same reason as these guys. A lot of people from Berklee came out here. A lot of people from my hometown too, actually. And I'm like a contemporary musician. I studied jazz too, but like Warren, I feel like New York is a little jazz-centric for my taste. So yeah, moved out here, love producing. Met this guy pretty much right away, so glad I did.
Yeah, that's good. See that? Yeah, I think I have a more unique. No offense, but like they're actually pro musicians. Like I literally came out here for work. Like I was an engineer. I graduated college, and I studied like biomedical engineering. And I was just like, all right, because in college I'm thinking like I don't want to be a loser. Like I was like I was not smart really in high school, and I got to my freshman year of college, and I was like, what can I do to survive? Like I need to find a good job. Like this is crazy. And then so I started engineering. Didn't do much of music in college. Moved out here and immediately just got straight into music. It was like the best.
I mean, it sounds like maybe your grandmother would approve of that decision, but I have to ask if you had a degree like that, and then you decide to focus on music instead. You have parents or anyone in your family. It's like, no, go be an engineer.
They're super supportive.
Cool.
It's a good. I've made the right choices, I think, and it's good. It's balanced. So
it seems like it's working out for you. So you guys are obviously great on camera because besides being interview subjects, you are often interviewers. Sometimes the tables are turned, and you talk about your own journey, the journey that we're talking about here on your own podcast.
yeah.
But you also, chat with your friends and other musicians. It's called The Celestial Show.
The Celestial Show.
Sponsored by Celestial Seasonings Tea.
One day.
Someday. Yeah,
Or
tell
Modello.
me if that still exists. Are you unaware of Celestial Seasonings? Did I just drop some weird, old school reference?
When you said it, I was like, "What is that?" But it makes
Like
perfect sense now.
Brim coffee. I don't know.
I know what you're
I'm
talking about.
sounding old. Okay, so I think it still exists, and they probably have throat coat tea, which is great.
That's what I need.
stuff.
You're gonna
So
hear me tonight. Fall
Look
apart.
this up.
with-
But tell me about your show.
Yeah, so it's basically us hanging out, talking. I mean, it's funny to me because we have episodes where we interview other musicians and people we're getting to know. And that's like when you think someone asks you, like, oh, you have a podcast. What's it about? It's like, oh, we just interview other musicians and, whatever, make friends kind of thing. But really half the time it's us just hanging out, talking about whatever we're talking about and, shooting, telling funny stories or talking about our experience with the mixing the record or ideas for new things, shows we're going to play. It really, I got inspired to do it because comedians have really cornered that. Well, not cornered the market, but every comedian has a podcast, and I like listening to them. They're much funnier than us, honestly. But if you when I was a kid, if I could have found the podcast of the Front Bottoms or something the bands that I loved, and listened to that on their journey and gotten the information directly from them. And some people would say, oh, well, you have to have a mystique about you. We're not I'm not like that. Celestial, again, positivity. So it's just a good time, follow along on our journey. Every now and then, it's every couple weeks, we have a really good guest on who's someone else who's not in our circle, reoccurring guests. And it's
Who have been some of your guests, and how have you, if they're not in your circle, how have you brought them on?
Well, Instagram DMs work. But Lee Lewis was the last one we just did. He's, Flo, you work with him. What kind of, pass Flo the mic, if you don't mind, Warren. Because Lee's amazing. He's one of the best singers I've ever heard. And he was great story, amazing.
Bonjour. What was the question? Sorry.
Lee, like, how would you describe Lee's music? I guess
I would say soul.
soul.
Yeah, it's very soul music. He used to do like a little bit more of like pop soul music, but I think with the next record coming out, he's going more kind of like the like Otis Redding kind of route, like really soul,
Yeah.
and it's great.
So like
honestly.
hearing that, like, so Flo had met Lee and they just asked him like, yo, do you want to come on this podcast? You have a cool story. He, has a story of being with a label, being dropped by a label, working at Spotify. Like, just get, like, if you're a kid or an adult and you want to understand what it's like to be in the music scene in LA or wherever, if it's other bands, like, I just think it's a really cool opportunity to have a podcast where you can, one, build a community, because everyone, wants to get out there and, you can, speak your opinion and all that. But, two, like, really document your journey. Like I said, I think even before this, it's like you go back, if you listen to the Celestial Show, don't listen to the first episode as the first impression. Because I listened back to that and it's really cool for me because I'm like, oh, wow, look how far we've come. Like, so I can see that journey. It's only been a year of the podcast. So I think it's just fun to document as well.
Who would be your dream guest?
I mean, it's funny because, like, okay, you say it. Yeah.
The CEO of Spotify.
Like to chew him out?
Not chew him out, but just like ask him like why? Like what is going on in his mind? Like I'm not even like I'm obviously judging him, but I'm not judging him as an interviewer, but just I think a lot of people and a lot of especially artists, even big artists, want to understand like why? Like, what is going on in your mind, So that's it. That was my dream interview.
I would watch the shit out of that episode. Just
Yeah.
saying. I don't know if it's going to happen, but...
I hope so.
But
if he's down, I'll fly to Sweden.
Okay, yeah, he's in Sweden. I'd love to ask you more about that. Like, why... What made you say that as opposed to, like, some big rock star or whatever?
I think, like, a lot of that has been done already, And I think, for me... It's like, I don't think I would be great at interviewing musicians, or my hero musicians, because I would be too much of a fan.
Yeah.
I would like fanboy. And I don't have the professional skill to like detach, like be like, you'll be like a journalist and be in my character. It's not my
not
job.
A character, guys.
No, but no.
This is me.
But you know what I mean? Like,
I appreciate that you think I'm a good actress, or
not actor, but it's like your job, right? Like you enter as a professional.
Thank you.
I don't have that. Yeah. So I wouldn't be able to interview, like, let's say, I don't know, like Questlove. I would be like, oh man,
that would be pretty cool.
But if it's someone that I'm actually like have like not some conflict, but let's say some very intense curiosity about like what's going on, like not in an aggressive way, but.
I mean, that would be a really interesting episode, which actually I wasn't going to ask you about this, but I got to ask a follow-up question, being the professional that I am. Mm-hmm. You're a young band. You're starting out. You have aspirations and you're positive, but in the Spotify era, it is very hard to make money, to sell records, to get a break. Even if you get a lot of streams, it doesn't really amount to much. Like, how are you navigating? It's a weird time to be, and it has been for a while. The kind of careers bands had even like 10 years ago, it's changed. The landscape's changed so much.
Yeah, I think you just empower yourself, like however that is. Like at the smallest level, it's like merch, playing shows, and build that community and like build real fans. Like, if I always say this is more to the podcast thing too, but I think it's a major component to it. When you're sharing your music with someone, you're sharing a very deep part of yourself. Like, it's very intimate, but you're only getting about 3 minutes of someone's attention, and I think the podcast helps because they can learn what's behind the music. And so you can form more of a community with your fans around that. And then for the money stuff, we'll figure it out. Like, I think there's options for very like low cost access to additional content. Like, so like if we had a Patreon where like we upload another podcast once a week, or like I really like the idea of putting demos out there. No critiquing. Don't give me advice on how to make my music. But like I do like the idea of, this song comes out in 2 weeks. Well, our tour starts Now, if you're subscribed to our Patreon, you can hear these songs before the show.
Oh,
Things
that's
like
interesting.
that, you know, but you just have to empower yourself. There's a lot of ways to make money, and we haven't figured it out yet, obviously. But I do think that the world is changing, but it's giving the artists, if you can step up and be creative, I think there is a lot of opportunity right now to build a career out of it where you can be financially comfortable.
Anyone else want to speak to that? I saw that you guys were grabbing the mic, so
I mean, just
no, okay.
Oh no, go for it. I mean, just be genuine with your content. Like John said, don't worry so much about the numbers as much as putting out what you like. I mean, you have to be consistent with it. And I think, the podcast is a great thing that we're doing to kind of have more of like a relationship with our fans, even if it's like a smaller group of people. It's about building those people who will go on a journey with you.
Awesome. So I'll wrap up by asking about the album Hope. Obviously, the title sort of ties into all the positivity you're talking about. You've talked about all the different influences you all bring to the table. There's a lot of synthesizer going on, which I hear a lot of Cocteau Twins and certain eras of The Cure, but maybe that's okay. I'm right. Okay, cool. But yeah, talk about, the inspiration behind, the sound.
The joke question.
All right, fine. Well, it wasn't intentional, really, for us to have the sound that we did, because I grew up listening to a lot of punk rock. I mean, even like I as a kid, like, loved Tom DeLonge, like, from Blink-182. He was like, the way I learned guitar was like watching him play and just like listening to Dumpweed and like playing that. Like,
were you an Angel and Airways fan?
That's where, Angels and Airways became like this more mature. Like, I found it way later, like where I actually dove into it, and I liked the like space adventure kind of vibe to it. I didn't want to copy that in any way, but the sound came sort of natural between Neil and I, because I'd show up, have like a cool riff or whatever, and then he would just get on like Serum or like some sort of synth, and we would just tweak it. Everything was like DIY. Like, I think we didn't use any presets at all. Which, by the way, if you want to use presets. Like, they're great. But like, for some reason, we just like dove deep into making everything difficult. But it worked out cool, and so as we began that journey, I started finding a lot more music that I was connecting to where previously I may not have connected to the same way. Even like really heavy stuff. Like, I got really into Knocked Loose for like a brief period. Beach Bunny was great. The Cure came way late. Like, so basically we had the album done and someone told me like, oh, you guys kind of sound like The Cure. And I was like, I'll check them out. Like, obviously I'd listened to The Cure, but like I never like emotionally got attached to The Cure.
Fair enough.
Instantly, I was like,
my favorite band of all time, so I was about to fight you, but it's okay.
No,
you're forgiven.
You're justified.
Better late than never.
Yeah, I know.
All good.
Well, it's so funny. Yeah,
I'm just kidding around. However, someone discovers something, or when they do it, I'm not snobby about that.
No. I didn't get that impression. But so if you take like the Cure kind of vibe with like punk plus Neil, what he brings to the table, like, most like the melodic part of punk to me is like if you listen to like Descendants, Screeching Weasel, even like NoFX, honestly, Social Distortion, they all have like really beautiful moments melodically where things like, it's punk rock, but there's like a really nice feeling that you could take that and play it on a piano, and it's like, oh, that's so beautiful the way everything's kind of meshing. And then go ahead, you talk about your influences, because that's a major part of how the Celestial sound came to be.
Yeah, well, I mean, John came from more of like a kind of punk rock, emo rock background. And I grew up listening to a lot of rock as well. I was more of like a alternative rock fan, The Strokes, Red Hot Chili Peppers, a lot of like East Coast bands, some from the UK, like the Kooks. I like that vibe. So I did have the rock background as well. But as I got older and I got more into different kinds of music, I started getting into production. I did a lot with like R&B, and then eventually more like electronic aspects to my music. And that's where it kind of got cool with our collaboration, because he came in with these very like rock and roll chord progressions, very almost metal, some of them.
A couple of them, yeah.
And I was like, well, what if we try putting a very smooth synth over this very crunchy guitar?
Yeah.
And that's how we end up with this kind of cool dichotomy of sounds.
Anything else you guys want to add about the dichotomy?
Um, I think like the sound came definitely from like the blend of these two minds, and then I think we jumped in and bring a little bit of our taste. My background is more like I would say like I studied some jazz, but more like funk, R&B, and I used to play rock when I was a kid, and so I liked joining the band because I started playing some type of music that I haven't played in forever, and so like more, like punk rock and more raw and everything. So yeah, I like how the blend of the band is.
Yeah, Frog gave us like a different energy in the live performance that we didn't have as much of, even when we recorded Hope. When we would jam with Frog, just like the ideas that came out of him naturally as he's just riffing with us, like has majorly influenced the direction we're going in the future. So that's something I wanted to add. Same with Warren on synth. Yeah.
Well, I'm excited about what the future holds. By the way, Robert Smith did sing on a Blink-182 song once, so it's all connected.
What song is that? Do you know?
I will double check that. I'm more of a Cure fan than a Blink-182 fan, but it's actually a really good song. So
I believe it. Yeah.
We will take that conversation offline.
Awesome.
But in the meantime, you mentioned the future. So yeah, what does the future hold for this band?
Yeah, I think it's just enjoying each step at this point. Like, this is a pretty amazing thing. You guys allowing us to do this or inviting us to do this. And, we're going to have a bunch of friends here and we're going to rock out. Like, it's going to be amazing. And I really think for us, it's just get better all the time, continue to get more creative. I want our live shows at some point to grow to a point where it's like really an experience. Like, I think right now we're really good musically and we're really good at like creating like a fun atmosphere, and the music takes you places, obviously, but I want to get to a point where we're getting very creative with live performance and it becomes more of like, I'm not gonna say theater, but what can we do with this? And that's kind of the main focus for me, and then just enjoying each step. Each show is so fun. It's a long journey in this to get to where you want to be, but genuinely my goal is just to enjoy each moment, So
sounds like a good plan. I'm going to enjoy your show.
Hell yeah.
In just a moment. So thank you for coming to Licorice Pizza. I'll let you guys
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody.
Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.